Easter egg hunts for kids. It seems like we hear about this every year. Every year.
And it doesn't matter what you do to prevent it either.
There are parents of children, I'm going to say under the age of 5 for sure.
Always.
But usually under the age of 4, maybe even 3, that take their kids to a community Easter egg hunt and are disappointed because the area's roped off. There's a guy with a bullhorn saying, don't go yet. Remember, no parents. And then they say, 1, 2, 3, go. And the kids, the little toddlers, the cute little helpless children enter the playing field, but they don't know exactly what the hell they're doing.
Right, because they're babies. They're literal babies.
They see something shiny. They see a squirrel. They see another kid. And they want to run over and make friends.
Right, which is actually so cute.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
So the parents are like, no, you missed one. It's right there.
Right.
They start by pointing and talking, and then they have to enter the forbidden zone, the children-only zone,
Right.
and help out their 4-year-olds. So what does it then become? 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds I've seen.
Right.
It becomes an Easter egg hunt for parents.
Yes. Yeah. Which is like, dude, there are adult Easter egg hunts. You don't have to participate in this one, honey. Also, maybe people need to learn to not be in such a rush. You know, enjoy the fact that your kid isn't catching all the eggs. Enjoy how dumb they are while they are. Because eventually they're going to grow up and they're going to become devious.
And I get it. Yeah, kids suck. No, not your kids. Present company accepted, of course.
Right.
But yeah, if it's just going to become, and I get the parental instinct kicks in and the protection instinct. I get all that. But if it's just going to become an Easter egg hunt for parents, why not bill it as such? If IFAF ran the world, and it doesn't, because girls do.
Yes.
But if we ran the world, it would be no kids under 5.
Yeah.
Forget it. You're going to have a miserable time.
Yeah, at that point.
Right.
I mean, especially because they don't know, they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe 5 is a little extreme, but any kids under 3, you know, they don't know, they don't care.
Give them some leftover fun size from Halloween, last Halloween or Christmas.
They'll be so happy. They don't know. They don't know that the packaging is wrong for the season.
Look what the Easter Bunny brought you, kid.
Right.
All right. Speaking of sugar, speaking of candy and soda on Snap, the bill that passed both houses was signed into law last week.
Yeah.
And that became...
Does it go into effect already then?
I don't know when it goes into effect.
Okay.
I do know it became our most watched TikTok ever.
Yeah, which was crazy.
With 1,500 comments.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And I would say 60% of them were like, good. Poor people.
I mean, basically.
It was pretty brutal.
The thing that really got to me was so many people saying they can buy that with their own money. I understand where you're coming from. I really genuinely do. And the point is that they don't have their own money to spend on that stuff. You have to be making very little money to be able to be on food stamps anyway.
And a lot of people wanted to focus on one of the words in Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. You guys, it's supplemental. It's supposed to supplement what you're already doing. You guys, it's nutritional. It's supposed to be nutrition. You guys, it's assistance. It's the, I'm like...
I get it. I do.
Okay, semantics and pedantics.
Yeah. I understand that side, and at the end of the day, I recognize that it's going to hurt people who are already struggling, and that makes me sad. And I think I mentioned, I don't remember if I mentioned this in the first one or not, but there are times when people do need sugar and soda and candy for the sake of their health.
Diabetics.
Yes.
They brought that up.
Yeah, not only that, but also kids in general need higher calorie foods. That's why they crave sugar and candy. It helps them grow. Now, obviously, you don't want them eating just that, but...
Yeah, and also to your point about kids, you know, they have birthdays.
Yeah, right.
There's holidays and stuff. Easter, for example. Hope you had a great one. Hope you had a blessed Easter.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I hate the idea of a kid and not being able to bring in goodies to his class because mom couldn't afford it that week.
Yeah.
You know, like when every other kid gets to do that for their birthday.
Yeah.
And again, I get that it's not what that's meant to be used for, but I don't know. It just makes me sad thinking of people missing out on the few things that make life worth living. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little too empathetic.
No.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not as sympathetic.
Sure.
But I like that one of us is.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the thing is, that money is going to get wasted on something else if it's not that.
Yeah.
So I think I would rather it go to that than something dumb.